Hello and welcome back to my channel, Romel, Private Investigator. My company is Access Diversified Investigations. I bring you somewhat of a very sad occurrence today. This, well, a body was found September the 4th, 2021. That body having been disclosed as that of Jelani Day. Jelani Day was a 25-year-old black student studying at Illinois State University to be a doctor. He was last seen August 24th, 2021, and his decomposed body was found in the Illinois River September 4th, 2021, 11 days later. The initial autopsy report proclaimed death by drowning. The police allege suicide. Jelani's family notes that he was an excellent swimmer and would not have been in the city where his body was found. Homicide or suicide? I'm placing a media timeline for a general review. Pause the video if needed. I will be speaking on this occurrence basically from an investigative perspective, and hopefully to some extent it may be able to help the findings that hopefully will be very forthcoming in the very near future. Tag along with me on this one. This young man's body was found in the city of Peru, state of Illinois, the Illinois River, the South River bank, on the east side of the 251 bridge, as I recall. From an investigator perspective, looking at things any number of ways, and in a case like this, this is a massive undertaking. Let's just for a moment look at the car that was found, and a lot of concern over the cell phone not being found until some time later. So what can you do with a car? Obviously, everyone knows you can fingerprint the car. That's not to say the fingerprints on the car have, well, there's a possibility you can find something from that. Better to do it than not do it, because obviously police have been handling the car. Perhaps passerbys may have, someone passing by may have touched the car, so forth and so on. But for the most part, what you have is a lead. A lead. It may not take you anywhere, but at least you're going through a process that may bear some fruit further down the line. So what else about the car? Okay, when you rent a car, you sync your phone into the navigation system, and it gets you where you want to go, so forth and so on. And so what happens is, and I would think that particular car, it's a very upscale type car, very nice car. I would think that car certainly had a navigation system in it. And more than likely, Jelani being a young man, he probably synced his phone to the navigation system. And what you can do with that, some of you are aware, some perhaps not. What you can do with that is, even if you don't have the phone that you synced into the car, you have another phone. All you need to do is pair that phone to the car, and you could get access to the information on the other phone. That would include text messaging and so forth, numbers that were called, or a call coming in, a call going out, that sort of thing. So that's an option. Now, whether or not the police did that, I have no idea. I would think that would be pretty much standard operating procedure. Another thing you need to be mindful of is vehicles. Vehicles have what's called an ECU, electronic control unit system, and there's equipment out there that you can plug into that to find out any number of things associated with the car. Certainly, this is what the dealers and other mechanics use when they're diagnosing a vehicle. And now I'm not certain on this, but certainly something that should be considered is possibly, like I said, I don't know, possibly, a school of thought, possibly the that unit may have the diagnosing ability to show whether or not someone was in any of the seats other than the driver's seat, whether it had been one or more persons. And I say this because a lot of vehicles come with seat sensors. This has a lot to do, and it associated works electronically with the airbags as well. And what this does is, when someone doesn't lock their seat, you notice you hear a beeper go off or something like that. What I'm saying is pretty much like the black box in airplanes when they have the unfortunate crashes, that there may be a way, maybe, I don't know for certain, but it's something to think about. There may be a way to ascertain whether or not, and a lot of times these this electronics will produce dates and times. There may be a way to show that someone had sat in any of those locations at any one given time on the day or days in question. And certainly that would lead to something greater than the presumption of suicide. Something to think about. Another look would be the dispensary, the cannabis dispensary that's mentioned in some of the media information. So what's important about that is this. What you would want to do, obviously the cameras are important. That's clearly understood. But what you want to do is, you want to see if Jelani had any sort of a habit or frequency in which he would go to that particular dispensary. Now that dispensary is about 8 minutes away from his school. And if he had some sort of consistency, now keep in mind, it's legal. He's not committing a criminal act. If he had some sort of frequency that he would go, and if he's buying the cannabis, he's buying this at a certain amount. If it can be seen that, let's say he's gone to that particular premises, maybe 4 or 5 times, and each time he buys a specified amount of cannabis, then on this trip, perhaps he bought considerably more. It's a bit telling, or at the very least, it is suggestive in that perhaps that may have been to share with one or more persons, which certainly alludes to the possibility of him going to meet someone or someone already there, in particular in his vehicle. Thanks for watching. This is part 1. Be sure to watch part 2. What do you think might be helpful? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe, click the notification bell, share the videos, and as always, dream with purpose, act with intent.